If you have decided to try deep tones of a dark brown color, just keep on watching and let's start. Welcome to my channel.
Jhaja Hairstyle Tutorials.
Bring out the beauty in you.
Dyeing your hair light brown might mean that you have to go darker, or it might mean that you have to go lighter. It all depends on what hair color you're starting out with. If your hair is just a little darker or a little lighter than the light brown hair color you want to try, then a regular light brown hair dye will be more than enough. If your hair is significantly darker, however, then you will probably need to bleach it first. Although just one session with a lower volume developer will probably be enough. That said, we did find a few light brown hair dye kits that can lighten dark brown hair all on their own. It's worth noting that when you go from dark to light, the hair often turns very warm naturally, so you may want to choose a more golden or azure light brown hair dye, even if you're aiming for a neutral or slightly warm light brown hair. If your hair is very light, then you might need to dye it a few times before the light brown hair dye can really take hold. You can do this in steps: first dyeing your hair a darker blonde and then dyeing it a light brown. Another thing to keep in mind is undertones. It's very common for ash brown hair to turn green when applied to very light hair. But you can counter that by opting for a warmer light brown hair color or by filling in your hair with a darker golden blonde or copper blonde color at first. If your hair has already been dyed, especially if it's a darker color or a very saturated color, you should first do a color removing session. Otherwise, it's very difficult to lighten dyed hair, while for hair that's been dyed a lighter color, the pigment can cause your light brown hair dye to come out muddy or altered. Finally, another thing to consider is what kind of light brown hair color look you're going for. Are you wanting light brown hair all over, or just a balayage? We give directions for solid, all-over color, but you might want to play around with placement or combining different shades of brown for different effects. You will need light brown hair dye kits. Either list above for suggestions: a pair of glove share, dyeing brush, plastic mixing bowl, only if your hair dye kit doesn't include an applicator bottle, old loose shirt, plastic hair clips, petroleum jelly optional. The dyeing process. Before you get started, set yourself up for success. Make sure you have everything you need on hand. Then get yourself ready by putting on an old shirt and the gloves. Using the pointy end of your hair dyeing brush, separate your hair into however many sections will make it easy for you to dye. 3 to 5 is usually perfect. Make sure the sections also follow the natural part of your hair. In a bowl or mixing bottle, put together your hair dye and developer and mix them together. If you're worried about staining the skin, apply petroleum jelly along your hairline and to the tops of your ears, and it will act as a protective barrier. If you're also relying on the hair dye to lighten your hair, save the roots for last. If you're covering gray hairs or starting with a light hair color, then start with the roots. Start by covering the part of your hair with light brown hair dye. Dispense the color and then use the brush to pat it in along the length of your part and pull it outwards about an inch. Next, start dyeing your hair in sections. Unclip the first section and separate a smaller piece from it. Start applying color at the root, pulling the color down towards the ends with the brush and dispensing more dye as you go along if it's necessary. Keep dyeing that first section in small pieces until it's covered in its entirety. You can massage the hair a bit with your gloved fingers to make sure the hair dye covers each hair completely. Once you're done, clip that section back up and unclip the next section. Continue dyeing your entire head in the same fashion. Finally, once your entire head is covered, go back over the roots, since that's usually where mistakes and missed spots are the most likely. You can simply massage more dye into the roots with your hands. Clip up all of your hair and wait 20–45 minutes for the color to take its hold. Usually, the longer you let the color sit in your hair, the darker it will get. Although this also depends on the formula. You can put on a shower cap, especially if you're worried about staining walls or clothes. Once your hair has finished processing, hop into the shower and rinse out the color. Don't shampoo your hair, although you can condition it if you like. Get out of the shower and either wait for your hair to air dry or help it along with blow drying on a low, gentle setting. Examine your hair to see if you spot any mistakes or missed spots. If you do, correct them with a bit more hair dye. Once your hair is done, enjoy your new look and keep reading for more brunette hair tips. Jhaja Hairstyle Tutorials would like to thank the following: Leah Palace, Queen Pines 01, Jan Toison 28 TV, Lassie Ram Vlog, Kuya Vino, Myrin Artosa Hawker, Mazantos TV. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and hit the bell button for more videos. Thank you so much.